Hello, I'm Cara Stanford and this is the Marketing Spaces. Thank you for joining me today as we make some space to think about your products and messaging. But when we say products and messaging, that can seem quite boring. So I always think of it as actually, are we solving their problems and how are you solving their problems? So let's take a look. We're going to explore three questions. Are your products their solutions? How are you helping them understand that your products are their solutions? And what improvements can you make to both of these things, your products and your helping them understand? Question one. A sale is often an exchange. It's normally money, which is exchanged for a product, which meets some needs or wants. So people have needs and wants. To fulfill those needs or wants, to find solutions to those needs or wants, they will often purchase something, a product or a service. So first of all, I'd like to encourage you to think, what problems are your products or services solving? What are the problems that your audience have that you are actually solving for them? How do your audience express those problems? What words do they use? How do they describe them? And this is where talking to your customers really, really helps, and listening to them, listening to the language they use, hanging out where they hang out, seeing what they're saying. There's an entire branch of marketing that is dedicated to understanding how people express their problems. It's called search engine marketing, because it's essential that you know what people are typing into search engines. My husband works in enterprise search, and he had quite a funny conversation with a colleague who is 15 years younger than him, so she's in her early 30s. And he was saying, but no, when I do the search, I get these results and this result. And then he went, oh my goodness, you're searching like a millennial. She's searching by asking full questions because she's been brought up in the age of Siri and Alexa. Whereas my husband and I, we very much, when you first had to type into search engines like Ask Jeeves, you had to type things like marketing, strategy, small businesses. These days, people might type, what's the best marketing strategy for a small business? So how are your audience expressing these problems? And there will be differences depending on culture, age, demographics, behavior. How would they describe the solutions they need? How would they describe the solutions they need? And this, again, is quite important because quite often we can be presenting a product or service or a solution to their needs or wants that they didn't even realize was the solution, but they're still looking for that solution. So how do they describe the solutions they need? So then the big question is, are your products actually their solutions? If your organization or business is struggling, one thing could be that you're not actually offering what people need or want. You're not actually providing the right solution for them. That's one reason your organization could be struggling. Let's look at some others. How are you helping them understand this? So this is where we look at your messaging. How do you describe their problems? Do you show that you understand their problems? Are you using the language that they use? Are you describing things in the way that they describe it so that you can go, yeah, you get this. Yeah, you understand me. I work with a client who it's all about showing that they have sector-specific knowledge and understanding, and they do. They've got over 20 years experience in waste and recycling sector, and they have to constantly show the people in that sector that they understand this sector. So they use the language, the words, they share the problems, they talk about the problems that the people in these organizations are having. So how do you describe their problems? How do you describe your solutions? How do you describe your solutions? Write this down. Is it in the way that they describe them? So go back to what you've done before and think, am I using the same words, language, images, sentiments that they're using? Is there some form of mirroring going on? Or are you way off? Is your messaging totally different to what they would say and how they would describe it? Are you describing their problems and your solutions to their problems in a way that they can relate to? When you put your messages out there, the big thing that you want people to go is, oh yes, I get it. I get how this can help. Yes, I understand. This is what I need. I get it. Great. And it is our responsibility as marketers to give that clear messaging. People should not be having to struggle and figure out what we're actually offering them. The third question is, what improvements can you make? What improvements can you make to your actual products to ensure that they are providing solutions, that they are meeting the wants and needs of the audience? And what improvements can you make to your messaging? Because sometimes organizations have a brilliant product, a great service, exactly what's needed, what's wanted, the exact solution to the problem, but they don't express it very well. They haven't answered all those questions that we just looked at in part 2. And when you identify what improvements you can make, I really recommend you take one small step. There will be big ones you might identify, but they can be a bit overwhelming. They might require budget, they might require time, research, more thought. What's the one small thing that you can do right now to take a step forward in improving either your products or your messaging? Thank you very much. I'm Cara Stanford. This is the Marketing Spaces.